The HRE is lumbering into battle in today's NTW 3 4v4 custom game, as we have, yes, the age-old German Empire going into battle one last time, and his empire's lasted over 800 years. It is now facing his greatest test in Napoleon himself and his armies of Europe. What's up, guys, and welcome back. We do have a glorious NTW3 battle, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I've been sent this one a little while ago. Really highly recommended. Some big kills on both sides. This is a really close game, and yeah, HRE in this one as well. A really fun faction, which we haven't seen in a little while being played, and it's already chasing down Russia south there. It looks like they are going to be facing off against each other here today. Britain, as you can see, is 1811. UK, Portugal is beelining through this forest to try and cut off Russia South and try and isolate this army, or at least this force of Russia South, and annihilate it before any of the other French armies can arrive. Prussia is also looking like he's going to be having some early cav duels potentially around this town here. And then we have the Ottomans. Well, it's not even just the Ottomans, it's the UK Ottoman sort of like hybrid army that you can get as well, the 8-point there. So we're going to have some redcoats and some Turks in today's game. Well, over here we've got the yellow bellies, 96-man unit. That's huge. Stuarts from Norca. Oh boy, it's big units here for the Brits, and then yeah, mostly a lot of Turkish infantry actually there as well. For the French, we do have a bit of a selection when it comes to French armies. We do have 11-point Russia Center. We have obviously Russia South, as we've seen. We have 8-point France Spain, and we have the 10-point France Austria as well. So we have some really powerful ones. I think both the big pointers are over here, the 10-point and the 11. And yeah, as I said, Russia South, the lowest point here is already getting bullied by HRE and by Britain. And HRE is actually taking quite a lot of casualties. They lost like 40 guys. That might be to artillery actually. Yeah, it is. I think it's looking like the artillery. And then we've got another artillery piece being wheeled right up here, some Danish horse artillery getting right in the faces of the HRE. I guess Russia South maybe accepting his defeat. I don't know, because yeah, he's not really trying to withdraw anymore. I mean, Britain has got his cav across here. France is trying to desperately also get cav over to this forest line to maybe try and force the British cav back, but maybe to relieve some pressure on Russia South here. But Russia South, yeah, he's not got much further to go. This is the red line here. So yeah, Russia South can't retreat much further. He's going to have to stand there. I don't know where his money's been spent. That's what I want to know. It seems like he's got a lot here. What's this unit? He's got like, yeah, some like Austrian dragoons, and he's got like some decent like German cav there as well. And here comes the HRE with some of its own hussars. They're going to go in, try and go for his guns. They're going to try and get stopped there by the infantry. But yeah, the horse artillery, at least no longer be horse artillery. It's been stuck there, so I can just defeat the point of it, to be honest. And that's probably a lot of money I imagine spending that in that Danish horse gun. I don't know why. It probably does look like it should be quite expensive. But yeah, infantry here getting forced back. Already some routing here for the Russia South player. HRE holding on, even though they've taken a lot of casualties. They are orange and redlining in some areas.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Not really a lot of the weight of HRE being actually used though. They've still got a lot of reserves here, which they are bringing forward. And they are preparing for another sort of duel over here as well. Britain as well arriving. He's starting to run. He's getting his green rascals right into the faces of the Russia South player, and he is trying to finish this kill as quickly as possible. These are arguably the best shooters in the game, the green rascals. They have some pretty decent stats as well in melee defense as well. What have we got here? Why are these guys glitching about as well? I do not know. Are they Austrian infantry? Well, they might be actually. Yeah, they are Austrian infantry. They have managed to rout some of the Hungarians there of the HRE. The Austria technically sort of fighting itself, I guess, because the HRE is pretty much the early period Austria. Here comes Britain. Yeah, a lot of more infantry coming forward here. They are like sprinting around with the Green Rascals. So they've both got the second and the first like regiment of them. Very, very nice. France does occupy the town, so Prussia and also the Ottoman Britain. I mean, I'm just going to call them Ottomans for today because they are mostly Ottomans here. But yeah, if Ottomans and Prussia want to basically take this down. They're going to have to go to melee. I don't think France will be coming out of here. And there are some grenadiers in here as well, waiting with their big bearskin hats, ready to go. Very excited to see them. That's a big unit as well by the looks of it. So I imagine they're going to do a lot of damage. I'd probably pull them back a little bit so they're not on the front line and don't get battered by artillery or just any of the Ottoman and British infantry. The Prussians less worried about them shooting and hitting stuff. Okay, here we go. Looks like this is going to be the death of Russia South, I'd imagine. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in this battle. I can't remember, but it's looking like the writing is on the wall. Put it like that. We've got the cavalry here, going to be aggressive. Chevalier, I think it's a Westphalian Chevalier as well. It's going to go for the guns. These 5-pounders here, I think, are about to eat dust. No, they're not. They're going for. Going to go for the general. It's a bold move, but it might just pay off here. And we've got the Dragoon about to go through. But yeah, that is actually might just work here. And they might just get the HRE's general, and that might change the outcome of this battle. HRE kind of flopping there, yeah. And there you go, Karl von Teschen, of the Prince of the Austrians. He has been he's been routed. He might return 7 out of 16. He possibly might. The Dragoons though, do they want to go in? Get some revenge. I don't know. The Brits here going into melee. I think it's Portuguese. I think it's a decent melee. Yeah, the Valenka, they can melee pretty well. They're a tiny little unit, but they can melee pretty well. I think they've got like 16 melee attack. But anyway, Britain here is helping to close off the Russia South. Is that general still alive? I don't know if he is actually. There he is. He's in amongst this cavalry unit over here. That's why I could not pick him out easily enough. He's in there, and he's still. Yeah, I think this cavalry unit must have cost him quite a bit. Pretty big unit, and it's the Austrian cav as well. Just maybe makes it for why Russia South is such a small army, because usually Russia South can bring quite a lot, just a lot of chaff. A lot of stuff that's not going to do a lot of damage, but you know, it's going to take a bit of time to break through. But it's quite a small Russia South army, to be honest. And this is not where France wants to be, engaging Britain in a tree line. Britain is now starting to turn a lot of its stuff around to face this new threat in the French army here. I think this is the Spanish campaign as well. This is an 8-point, so they're outpointed here as well, 9 against 8. I mean, they're going to be outpointed very shortly, entirely. It looks like here goes the HRE with his Dragoons going in, and he might be about to go and get the general here as well. He's already taken casualties as this HRE unit. But yeah, he's going to get the cap there. Looks like Dragoons over on this other side here have dealt with some HRE infantry, but by doing so they have sacrificed their own general. Or have they? No, he's routing, and that is lucky. HRE here, but still pushing forward, still being a real pain, even though they lost cavalry here. They can square in some areas, and it seems that that's enough to keep the Russia South player at bay. Building there collapsed to 50%. The guns there doing their work, so they're going to just destroy whatever units inside here. It looks like it's some generic German, like Confederation of the Rhine infantry. Doesn't look like anything too special. Russia South still, you know, got cavalry knocking about. And this is a Westphalian unit again, dashing on forward. They are running around. So Russia South, surprisingly, has actually managed to keep himself alive. And in the game, somehow, he's even got infantry in that tree line now. Which is his aim all along. Back over on this side, it looks like, yep, the battle lines are starting to appear. France is getting ready. This is where the heavy pointers are, though, for the French. This is their big pushes. This is the 10 and the 11 point. So it's, yeah, going to be, the heavy hits are going to come in from here, and they need to start hitting hard, because their lesser point armies are starting to get bullied about a little bit. The first victory looks like it's going to be to the Prussians, potentially there, but it's a sacrifice that is they're willing to take, because here goes some Saxon cavalry going in. That's going to take out the artillery there of the Prussians. It's all part of their grand plan, I think. Or they could get a side charge in a moment. It looks like the Dragoons here, though, have disengaged. They've routed that Chasseur Cheval there, and they are now going to deal with the Saxon cavalry. We've got more Dragoons coming in as well. They try and thunder into the side of the French cavalry here and try and make a difference. They should really just turn this infantry and shoot in the side. Deal with the Saxons here. I imagine these Saxons are from Russia Center, because I think the Ulm was... oh, it could be Austria, actually. It probably is 1809 Austria, more likely than Russia Center. Here comes some of the Grenadiers coming forward. They're going to try and get a side shot here into the Dragoons, and they probably can form square as a Grenadier unit. Most of them usually can. They've got a bit of a firing line being prepared here in the tree lines by Prussia. Prussia relies a lot on mass, but doesn't really have much going its way. His cavalry's pretty good as well, like the amount of mass they can bring. They won the cav fight, did Prussia in the end, but the square there of the Grenadiers has meant that they can no longer stand and contest this little spot, and now the Prussians are on the retreat. They're having to give this ground up because the Grenadier here could have just gone down the line and could have done a lot of devastating damage to that Prussian effort there. And Ottomans are going to kind of like sort of get themselves set up around, it looks like the right flank here of the Prussians. Prussians right now are taking a lot of pressure. Like I said, I think it's multiple armies they're facing and multiple high pointers. It looks like the plan of the Turks is to try and outflank this French army, at least maybe then distract it. Do some work there, so we'll see. Yeah, it looks like this is definitely Russia's center here because you've got loads of Westphalian units in that front line there. And as you can see, Russia's south has slowly but surely been defeated, and they are going to run off the battlefield. And that is pretty much GG for them. That is a terrible start though for the Imperials. We're losing pretty much an entire army straight away. They've still got assets here and there, but yeah, I mean at the same time, HRE with poor morale, typically with their infantry and most of their units, no general. Though he did only rout, it didn't die, so it's not the worst morale debuff you get, but still not great. So both sides here, you could argue in a way, have severely bloodied each other. The Imperials, though, certainly severely bloodied more. And Britain going in with a light cav there, and it looks like he's managed to take out a gun, which is right by this building. And yeah, it seems like the French cav and the French building, which are right next to the gun, unawares of that British cavalry coming in and just cutting down the gun. It looks like it's going to re-rally. It's going to be able to be used once more, so that's excellent to see there. And looks like, what is going on over here? Is French infantry or is it skirmishes? I think it's skirmishes. Yeah, they're routing. Are they Voltigeurs or Visual Legion Voltigeurs? I think they might be. As you can see here, France has fallen back, using the town as their defense. This is the 8-point, like I said, so I mean, at the moment outpointed, and with the HRE maybe on the way, they are a long, long way away, and they're also slow, so France might get a few advantages here for a little bit, we'll see. Looks like again also the musketeers have been routed in the forest there. General under attack? Don't know whose that is. Is it Britain's? Oh yeah, Beresford. I think he's getting shot at by rogue shots. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Looks like Ottomans are going to go for a charge here. They can see a lone French cav. This is definitely an option. And C4 here, CPI might be able to go in. There's the general as well. That's also very, very close. That's also an option. Turkish infantry actually seems like it's pretty decent. It's Janissary stuff as well. But you can tell because Janissary. That's Janissaries. Oh, and a big melee now taking place over on this far side here. Here we go. This is what they want. We've got the Grenadiers in here. We've got the Saxon cav as well. Russia is going to get cooked here in a moment, I have a feeling. In go more Grenadiers. They're going to bearskin to these guys. The basic Shako. They're going in, and I think we're going to see more infantry in a moment being thrown in. Cavalry here. Dragoons going forward trying to stall the French. What is this? This looks like a cuirassier. Yeah, it's a Saxon cuirassier being brought forward here. That's going to go in, and that's going to try and punch a hole through the Prussian line, and that might throw a spanner in the works here for the coalition. If this all starts to go wrong here, they've had some relatively good success to start with. It could all be about to be undone. And there you go, the Cuirassier's gone in. It's dealing with Dragoons at the moment. The French have carried on with their Grenadiers, by the way. They are pushing onto the second line already. We also have more Dragoons back here that are preparing. And I think there's a Cuirass. No, there's more Dragoons back here. They haven't brought a single Cuirass, actually, have the Prussians by the looks of it. But yeah, they're just throwing in as much as they can again. With the Dragoon going in, trying to slow down the Saxon Cuirassiers. France right now is not having, I'd say, loads of success, having some success in breaking through these Prussians. I won't say, like I said, I think it's a lot. More provisional infantry coming forward. We've got a Grenadier unit here, German Grenadier coming forward. That will be handy. That needs to go into the melee at some point. But I feel like the Saxon cuirassier right now is not really being purposed for its, well, being purposed properly here at all. General dead. Oh, HRE general. Have they run him down finally? I think they have. Yeah, I think the Russia South player here just run down that general, made sure he's actually properly gone. So there you go. HRE has lost the general properly. Voltigaire's here running down some of these HRE, trying to like farm some kills. That's despicable, to be honest. I mean, they need to make sure, I guess, they do stay routed. But still, that's pretty despicable there. And yeah, HRE maybe also kind of on the run now. I mean, with the rejuvenated Russia South, I think they're still generalists though. They've still got, yeah, this is where obviously their money went. We didn't even see these units, I feel like, in the Neapolitan troops. But there they are. They are very much in the game. Anyway, back to the main push over here. Cavalry and everything still very much in for both sides here. Cuirassiers and also dragoons. And here come the Grenadiers. They are about to go in. Are they going to storm? We will see. France tried an offensive over here. He failed pretty miserably. And we've got... Well, this is all the Guard going in now. We've got the Dutch Grenadiers. We've got the Grognards as well. They're all going to go in as well. That's a very, very nice little move there. This could be very dangerous for Prussia. Ottomans are sort of in here, but not also at the same time. We're going to see a cav charge here from the Hussars to try and stop the Guard. The Carabinier unit there, I guess, can form squares, trying to pull back. A lot of men with bearskins in fighting right now. And France is slowly but surely punching his way through this this Prussian line. We've got the Grenadiers now in there. If they get through that unit, then they are through all the Prussian lines. They could do with one more cav unit almost to charge in and just try and hit some of these Prussians on the side and just finish knocking down the blocks. Ottomans here, I don't know whether they can go into melee or whether they can get any closer to going to shoot him, because they need to do something here. I mean, to be honest, there's some of these units here look pretty weak for Russia center. Probably try and take them out. A lot of allied troops here. I'm not seeing a lot of French. It might be that they could probably try and knock them out, because right now Prussia is having his head pummeled in. Melee continues. Yeah, France continues the Cuirassier. No, that's the Chevalier going in. Again, Hussars going to try and stop the Grenadier push here. Again, those German Grenadiers going in. Good way to combat a melee charge. Just let your infantry take the hit, then charge in with a cav unit. It's the unit can't form square. So he's kind of scuppered like that. Look like the Chevaliers. We're going to try and go for the Prussian general. That's not happening anymore. Ottoman cavalry's come to the save, to the rescue. Sorry. And Britain is looking on forward over here. We've seen a little bit of engagement. Looks like Britain and a cav unit had a mix and a fight, and it looks like cav came out of that one pretty badly off. But this suits Britain, just a nice long line fight that's been had right now. They can just shoot around the building, and just the French are gonna have to endure this. France is gonna try and get into melee if he wants to even give himself a chance. I don't know what his army is built for. It looks like a lot of line infantry. I would have thought melee going off of these. Also, I don't know, they still look like they're all... This might be Laguerre here. So it's hard to say, really. We've got a unit there. Is that breaking? I don't know. That's already broken. HRE arriving. I guess to just defend the back of the British player is probably the best he can do. France here is giving ground. They are withdrawing. But Prussia's not got a lot left, so I mean, it was a costly push, but it might have nearly worked. The Guard are through the first line as well, and they're into the Ottomans. And oh yeah, they're breaking a lot of these Ottomans. Just the Dutch Grenadiers I can see leading the way. I can't see the Grognards anyway, unless they're over here. No, these are Carabiniers as well. But the Portuguese Legion about to be sent in. Cool niche thing. But I mean, by 1812, if you did not know, the Portuguese Legion, not really Portuguese, mostly made up of Spanish. Yeah, it looks like Guard maybe gone? Question mark? I mean, we don't have everything. We're looking from the Allied perspective, so fog of war might suggest that we just can't see them. In goes the cavalry. Definitely just rear charge their own Ottoman guns there. Portuguese Legion might be just about killed off here. We'll see. And those Stuart Norkers blasting the rest of the Portuguese Legion as well, sending them packing. The artillery setup here is shredding the Germans as well. Really nice. I think France is, yeah, thinking of retreating here. They try to be aggressive, try to take the fight to the Allies, and it's not worked. It has not worked. The only one that's really kept himself in the field is, in fact, this 8 point over here of France-Spain. He's actually kind of held on to his position. He's not winning the fight at all. But he's not capitulated like the Russia South player has. And, I mean, he's not failed in his offensive like the 11 and the 10 point have over there. Looks like the Ottomans are getting into the back lines, though, of the French now. That's not a good sign. That's a sign of it's the beginning of the end, potentially, already for the French. If the Ottomans win that catfight, which they have, they can go into all these guns here and take all of those French guns out. That could be a huge haul. Yep, there he goes. The C3 CPI cab goes in.
Your men have been routed, sir.
He gets one, he should get the other one here as well. And there you go. I mean, Prussia is looking pretty battered. A lot of his infantry has already routed once and may rout a second time as well. But he's absorbed the hits. And he didn't do too bad. There you go, the gun gone as well. And I think he's going to go for that general. Is he going to get that too? Is that Napoleon? Yeah, it is. Napoleon's all the way over here. I think, yeah, finally that CPI cab's broken, but that's done a lot of work, that's for sure. Oh, this is not looking good. This is, yeah, looking real rough here for the French. I mean, they've won on this flank, though, of the French cab. Somehow they've managed to rout infantry over here. Yeah, a squareable and then a non-squareable. That's kind of a result. If they can get a rear charge here into the Brits, that might have helped 2-3 minutes ago, but already it's looking very bad. France is just getting absolutely pumped. You can see all the dead here. There you go, the squares and the line infantry here have helped broke that a French cab that was getting in behind. (1809) resetting up now in the town. It looks like he's getting ready to face the HRE. Russia South's not out of the game, we should add. I thought he was dead and out. He's certainly not out. Whether he'll be dead, though, by the end of this game, there's still a good chance that might happen. Yeah, HRE here, big units. They should hold for a little while, you'd hope. You'd hope. We get sandwiched, to be honest, but I don't know if the French are in any sort of position to try something like that. Prussia's got cav deep into enemy lines here. And he's going to go for his artillery, which is a horse artillery as well, and they probably thought, oh, it's safe. Oh, no. Not safe at all. Very dead horse artillery. And Prussia routed as well, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess it's probably the shots from the building there that's caused that. But still, good result to kill that horse artillery. Here we've got some guard. I think he's a young guard. Certainly not going to be meleeing their way to victory with them. We do have the old guard still alive. Actually, we've got one unit here. I'm not quite sure what these are. Maybe these look like a guard of some sort. Maybe Marines of the Guard. I'm not sure. They look kind of cool. France just went into melee there, lost against the Ottomans, no surprise. But yeah, France now on the retreat on all fronts, I think. All fronts, I guess, apart from Russia South, ironically enough, they are advancing towards the guns. We'll silent muskets again at the moment, but yeah, the Green Rascals shooting away, trying to harass those French as they run away. But yeah, not looking good. I'd say the worst flank is the other flank over there. Though the Brits obviously chipped down a Spanish campaign pretty badly. I still don't think it's as bad as on the other side, where I mean, Ottomans, I'd say, are relatively fresh, pretty much untouched, and they're fighting. It's pretty banged up 1812 and 1811. Guard though here, so there's another old guard that's still knocking about. That's good. If the French have any hopes of winning today's game, they're going to need the guard. And here go the cavalry, Chasseur Cheval. It's not a Chasseur Cheval it's engaging, it's a Dragoon. But it's fighting light Dragoons. Which, to be fair, these guys are kind of in the same weight class, even though one little light Dragoon, the other is, it's pretty much as good as a typical French Dragoon. Mainly because the Dragoons for the Brits are like heavy cav, they're like the cuirass. They're the very scary stuff. Even without having a general, it seems like HRE is still messing up Russia South. There you go. HRE is actually going to push on. They've routed a couple of units here. The thing is just gunfights. Yeah, not a lot going on. We're still in like sort of Cold War fear. We're back in that Cold War period. That's what I was trying to say. There's some like action taking place, but not a lot. There's no massive melee charge going on. I guess most of the troops are probably exhausted and need a little hot minute. Ripping piece of that guy got hit. It won't be the first and won't be the last to be hit by a British bullet today either. There is. What is this? Oh, it's a Polish Grenadiers. This is what Spanish campaign I think is hoping to intend to do some melee. He's got a melee. Oh, he's got a position right behind the house. Not a bad idea. It gives himself some cover. It seems like the high point is have managed to retreat quite a bit of their troops. Certainly 1812, 1809. Jury's still out. This funny looking unit, which I can't put my finger on what it is. I think they just routed actually. Oh no, they're red lined. This Britain really getting right in the face here of the guns. This gun is, yeah, like being operated at point blank range. If you like, quickly load again, the British are coming, they're coming. The road. More infantry. Assume pretty meleeable Portuguese infantry. Could be wrong. Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter, they're going for a gun. Don't need to be able to melee that hard. But Portugal, UK Portugal here, is being forced back by the Polish Grenadiers. That is something. That kind of worked. They routed a couple of units there. I mean, we've got some other troops here that are starting to shift and sort of take over the spot. But yeah, the UK's it's also quite a lot they're going into melee. Yeah, I feel like Britain needs some cavalry over here to just try and charge. I don't know if they've got any left, to be honest. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, they still do. They still have the King's German Legion and First Hussar. Why this maybe wasn't charging there, I don't know. Maybe also just trying to keep an eye on Prussia South, who the HRE have just seemingly have ignored and gone back to fighting 1809. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job against. I'll give them that. And they're going to rout that as well. A unit there. And there's a general very much open now. Russia South can march into this vacuum that's been left as the British have moved on, as have the HRE. And now with that space, they can try and operate a little bit more. But like I said, their army is pretty defunct to this point. I mean, they're orange and red lining is just sheer sight right now of the enemy. Is the general dead? I think that is, yeah, I think that is the general here. Get friendly. Is that Napoleon? Does he get friendly fired? I think he might have done. France is going to make its last stand around this house here. I mean, there's not a lot left for the Allies so far. I mean, they've taken a battering, but I wouldn't say it's been super close. I feel like the Allies from the get-go have been pretty aggressive. Know what they wanted. What's that? What's that odd-looking unit? Polish Grenadiers helping to hold the line here. Sure, they can square. HRE can go into melee. There goes the Polish Grenadiers, they're going in. There's also the Gare going in as well there, redlining at the sheer sight of the fire that's coming at them, and there you go, both sides. Trader unit, and the Poles actually rout as well. It's probably influenced by their routing colleagues next to them. And HRE also routed. There you go. Everyone just kind of charged in and everyone ran away. That's really funny. No one was like, oh, I'm the winner. No, everyone was a loser. That is the way of war. Again, France goes in. I think this has got something to do with having a new general. But it's, I think that's 1809, not 1812. Yeah, it looks like France is going to try and get as much of this building as possible. It's already like, yeah, 3 units stacked in around now. And just knock it down a bit. I don't know if the Prussians have got any guns to do that, but that's what the Allies should do. Knock these buildings down. Don't play the French at their game, house fighting. Yeah, that's quite impressive. As I say that, they take this building. And the Brits took it as well. They put the Prince of Wales volunteers in there. I don't know what was actually in the building. But yeah, something. And look at this, Russia South. The first player that looked like he was going to be down and out. He's still in the game and he's still harassing Portuguese infantry. He's managed to rout that unit there, which has no squares. Here comes the King's German Legion Hussars. They're going to slam into the side of the Chateauguers. These boys in their dazzling coats and very interesting looking hats. Very iconic look for the British Hussar. There you go, finally Russia South loses that cavalry, but another one's ready to go in is the Austrian cavalry now. That might have enough to overwhelm the British. We'll see. Go. Britain wins another fight against Russia South, but it's costing their foreign recruits. And it looks like Russia South's going to go in. He actually won that camp fight there with the infantry. Sorry, against the hussars, and now in goes the cavalry here. I mean, the squares being formed by the King's German. Point blank range cannot miss.
Their general has fallen.
Oh, General's died. I think they farmed him down as well. That should be GG pretty much. France just has this building. That's all I can see marked on the map. Oh, a few things are returning, but still. Not bad at all. UK Ottoman setting in some Janissaries. Is it Guard, isn't it? I think it is Grenadier Guard. That's going to be tough to take. It's going to be tough to take. They're firing on it from all sides. I mean, like I said, I'd knock the building down to 50%, do as much damage as possible, kill some of the infantry inside, then charge them. But it's redlining, actually. Well, army losses and lack of general got something to do with it.
Their general has fallen.
There you go. I think that's the general that's hiding in that building there. And yeah, it's fallen to the Ottomans as well. There you go. Ibrahim's general died. And there you go. We have the end results as everything else like mass routes. And it is a victory for the coalition. So well done to them. We were under some heavy onslaught with certainly the Prussians and the Ottomans. But yeah, in the end, I feel like they just didn't really maybe support their attacks properly. I also think they charged head on a little bit too much, which maximized casualties. Also losing Russia south early on, hard to come back from that. Getting 2v1 early on is not great for anyone, whether you're a good player or a bad player, like just a newbie. And yeah, not great, not a great experience. But Russia south managed to stay in the game a little longer than expected. Pretty much there till the end of the game. But yeah, not the go-to faction, that's sure. I would say pretty weak. Anyway, this was sent by G, who's playing as one of the British. I think he's playing as the British Portugal army. If you want to see his kills, I'm not going to get those up on the screen. We can have a quick look at some of the stats he has. Got 186 kills here with the Worcestershire Foot. Then got the King's German Legion getting 182 kills, 146 with the North Gloucestershire. The Britanniques getting 135, 124 with the King's German Legion. Foreign recruits getting 104 kills, not bad for them. 100 kills dead for the Prince of Wales Volunteers. There are the rest of the kills there. Beresford getting none here today. But there you go, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, I want to see more NTW3 on the channel. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment show your support. And I'll see you, folks, in the next one. Bye for now.